This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Ping.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara Sutphen. Tara Sutphen is the author of Blame It on Your Past Lives, Soul Agreements, and the Abenda Chronicles. Grammy-nominated audios, videos, and MP3 series. You can find these MP3 series now at TaraInsight.com.
Welcome to Transformations with Tara Sutphen. And my guest and my little cohort here is Jason D. McKean. And he is the voice of Om on over 1 million sold recordings in the world. And he has a big meditation line. And also is the tarot wizard, does a lot of tarot, and also is now working in Japan a lot, for sessions.
That's right.
Congratulations with that, Jay.
Thank you. Good morning, Tara. Thank you for having me on Transformations with you. And I'm excited about the reading sessions that we do in Japan, and it's not that I'm physically in Japan; it's via the internet, but the readings are through a translator, and we've now started classes. Like we have an abundance class, tarot class that is scheduled for Tuesday, and we did a Valentine's Day class there, which was a lot of fun. We explored relationships
nice.
With the tarot. How crazy is that, right?
Right.
Exploring relationships with the tarot.
Like we're going to do today.
Would you say that that's the number one arena that people are wanting to find out about in their life?
I think from my work, it's usually success and health. But love certainly comes up a lot for people. But no, my arena is success and health.
Yeah, I find that the big three are relationships, finances or wealth, and just life path.
Yeah,
life path. People checking
right.
in to see that they're on the right path.
And I think that for with the tarot, because you primarily do the tarot, so people want to then check in. They want to ask a question about, is such and such, is he the right one for me, or is she the right one for me? But for my stuff, I'm doing a lot of coaching. So it doesn't necessarily, sometimes when you have love in place, you can concentrate on other things, but, because it's just easier. And really you don't let that part of your life rule your life, because, some people are searching for it their whole lives or make decisions around their libido, really. So it's really interesting. And I've been writing about questions from the other side, as far as, I'm writing this book that I have an agent for. And and it came up this week, why love? We started talking about love and why humans need it or want it. And, that will be revealed. And it's some of the stuff is just what I found very beautiful about their human relationships that, they and what went wrong, and so that was really interesting to me. But the thing is that I think that it's, two people wrangling two people is a lot of work. It's pheromones and hormones, and we definitely come to the earth to procreate and to populate the earth. And, so that's a lot of it. And, it's just a wonderful part of life, I believe, is love in every form, and I always am saying real love, true love, unconditional love, self-love and romantic love whenever I'm doing a session. And so when I'm working with the heart area, But that's the bottom line, love in every capacity.
Yes. Yeah. Like all of the arenas of love,
Yeah.
that, that the Greeks pointed out, like thousands of years ago with Eros and Agape and, the unconditional loves, the romantic loves, all of that, which is, it's important to be able to incorporate all of those into your being so that one doesn't get stuck in thinking of it as just one thing, and where one can find their selflessness, but they can also look to fulfill themselves at the same time. And so it's that perfect flow of energy, of the give and take of something as important as love. So do you have any questions that we were going to pull some cards for, because sometimes people will write in and
Right.
we just don't have the time during the week and all, but we can just share the question there of, protect the innocent as far as like, no names or anything. But do you have a question to start off with to read?
Well, I
for,
think we should just choose a card that would be overall, like, where would you start?
Because I do have a question.
Oh, you do have a question.
I have
Okay.
three questions that
Okay.
I looked into my my files there, and
All right. I'm getting comfortable. Come on. Do your questions.
but we can pull a card, just with the idea of love, and we're like a little bit post Valentine's Day.
Yeah, which is, I mean, a lot of people, are you disgruntled about Valentine's Day, or was Valentine's perfect for you? I mean, it's been COVID. It's been, a lot of people they would like to have a relationship. I think that relationships will be getting a lot more serious in the future, because I think that it put everybody into woke a lot of people up. It's like, you want a relationship, you better start looking for one. Yeah.
Right. It's like,
Yeah,
if
because
not
the
now,
serial dating thing is not necessarily where it's at.
yeah, if not now, it's like, when are you going to wake up? Right. So pull a card. We can look
Okay,
at that aspect of love.
I got 6 of Pentacles.
What do you see in that?
Well, it's not really about anything other than the person that comes into your life. It's are you going to accept them for them? It's about no frills. It's about not what they have or not what they do. It's about them as a person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the first key of looking for someone.
Beautiful.
It's not what they can do for you, but that you're compatible with, and that is a real person.
So I pulled the King of Pentacles. Interesting that they're both pentacles.
Yeah,
And
earthworms.
and the King of Pentacles is like the finishing king, the one who takes their inner self and looks to apply it out into the world and to show up in a very present state. When it's the kings showing up, it's like, someone wanting to put their best foot forward, to be the best version of themselves, to be active and to be seen and to be taken seriously. And so it's someone who is authentic in their actions, and not just just talking a good game, but showing up in a relationship and doing their part, supporting where they can, showing up as a good partner, and just doing the day-to-day work of relationships. So that's
Yeah.
It's interesting that, again, they're both pentacles.
Yeah. Well, and which it means earth, the pentacles. It's all about, how you're living on the earth and thriving on the earth. And, with the 6 of Pentacles, it's not about having your feet in 2 places. It's about having your feet, solidly on the ground, and where are you going to make up your mind?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no wishy-washy stuff.
Beautiful. So the ideals are perfect. You want to hear the letter
Yes.
that I got, and we can pull a card or a couple cards, whatever.
All right.
So I'm just paraphrasing here. She mentioned a name. I'm just gonna make up a name. I'll just say no, I won't. So so she's talking about her boyfriend, and that they were so tight together. He spent a lot of time with me, and then he saw some letters and photos that I was keeping, and I wasn't hiding it. They were of me with past boyfriends, and the letters, they were loving but not too juicy. But he got real quiet, and I think he's hurt or something. He hasn't talked to me for about a week. Did we break up?
Mm.
It's like, unless you have like a trophy case, right, with all your past conquests, hide that stuff away, put it in a box somewhere. Don't just keep it laying around.
Yeah, but the thing is that, your past makes you. You can't take away sometimes someone's past.
But sometimes in relationships too, it's like one doesn't want to be compared necessarily, like where there's a comparison chart, or something that's where it makes someone feel like you're not being present in the relationship if you're always kind of looking to the past of it. But I thought we'd pull some cards on that just to see if
okay, let's throw some cards, and then I have, and maybe I'm just kind of I'm certainly someone who would feel that you shouldn't, feel bothered by that sort of thing. That's the past.
Yeah.
We're only living in the present and going into the future. And if you're 20, you might get a little jealous because there's a chance for that person to come in. But, if you're past that, that's your past. And we all have a past if we're past 25. You just can't help it.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to pull 3 cards just so I can get a full look at that. Oh yeah.
Well, for her. Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I got that, she's had this beautiful past, and she was feeling quite lucky with this one. She really likes him. She thought even that she might, this might be the one. Very serious relationship. But he has shown a really kind of an immature side, and it feels like he's gone. Like he's moving on. He doesn't it's his excuse. It's a little bit of an excuse to be to go ahead and move on. Like it's not really a real like emotional blowout. He didn't even talk about it. So there's, but she was in the whole, she was in it. She was in it, and he was only 1 foot in. Okay.
So I pulled the Queen of Cups,
mm-hmm.
the 9 of Wands, and the Star card. And I mean, looking at her, it's like that Queen of Cups can be very sentimental and all, can be in her own little world too. And I think that with the 9 of Wands, she is like holding on to the past a little too tightly. Mm-hmm. Again, where things are like accessible, where they're just kind of laid out like that. It's like, I think that he saw that maybe she was going back to that, and not like locking it away or putting it away, and being able to see him as the one in the present. It's like, again, it's like a kind of a weird competition that I think that he was feeling with just what she was holding on to. And I think that maybe he was starting to see some things like just kind of click into place as far as where she wasn't being fully present with him. And I think that, it's an opportunity always to be able to talk about it, right? If he's like in a hurt space, then he can at least broach the subject and say, well, this is what I feel. I feel maybe you're too attached, to these things. And and I think that for her to get past that, I think she needs to make a choice of coming back a little bit more into the present, rather than letting the past just kind of be a playground for her, especially in relationships where she's it's like her part is to show up as well in the relationships, and not just have these mementos. Again, it's like either you're in or you're out, as far as you can if someone has like a really long history with someone, if they have kids and all that, then you can't like put the kids in a box. You can't hide the kids away. There's always that part of a relationship that might be there. But being able to talk about it is important for the guy, so that he's not just going into another relationship where he feels diminished by it, but for her too, to not be in that halfway realm there, where she doesn't take into consideration, someone else's feelings in the relationship. That's what I'm seeing.
Well, I think she was pretty gung-ho in the relationship. I don't think she meant anything by it, other than she's, just feeling good about her life and was feeling good about her past, as far as like being, having that sort of stuff accessible. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say, people live in small spaces, could have been, in a box, say on a shelf, and he decided to look in the box.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of like creepy too, was he like rummaging around, through her drawers, or was it like just on a dresser or something,
Right.
Because it feels like, she said it, she wasn't hiding it. So I'm thinking that it was just accessible.
Yeah. Could have been in a box or a drawer, but still, yeah. I mean, why would you want to like look for that stuff?
Because people they want to know what their status is in a relationship.
But how long were they together? Do you know?
No, I don't know how long they were together, but it looks like,
It doesn't sound long.
There can be, people who are surface, in their relationships too, where it's like they just want to have like these mementos, of something, and it can just kind of boost them for the moment. And this isn't about like judging who people are, where they're at, right? It's like, but if you're wanting a deeper relationship with someone, it's like you have to be able to be present with that person. You have to be able to, if they're having an issue with something, well, at least address it.
Yeah, at least communicate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be talked about. So yeah, he just didn't. He hasn't done any of that. So it's interesting, that one too. I had the teen class for 10 years. And my saying that's gone around the world is rejection is your protection. And so the thing is that Anybody who's not willing to communicate, somebody who is not willing to show you their love letters because you saw, theirs. I mean, come on, make it even Steven here. But
yeah, it could be a good night of makeup sex or whatever, after like sharing all the
gory details. Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the the age and where is it that you're allowing things to become a problem?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, do you find that it's like the more that people it's not always about age, it's about experience, right? It can be where someone who's, let's say, 40 has had like a ton of relationships, right? Whereas other people just might have had 2 or 3. Do you find that some people they're more willing to let go of like past relationships, in at this time and in our just human history?
Well, I think that the sexual revolution, all the birth control and everything changed a lot of lives in the 60s, and I think, but so I think that the serial monogamy, it got a bit out of hand. I mean, like everything, a good thing becomes kind of a weird thing. It just becomes weird. So, and you stop caring and the integrity that you have with people or the bonding that could be created. And I think this was a really good place here in history as far as, wow, lockdown, the whole world. You didn't choose somebody, so you're alone. You're just alone. And not that people don't like being alone. I'm not married. I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I have plenty to do. And I was never not busy because of my work. But the thing is that, a lot of people that, they were lonely. They haven't gone anywhere. They barely go to the grocery store. Some of them just have their groceries delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a big deal.
Yeah.
It's been a really big deal.
Yeah. I mean, certainly if one has been feeling the pressure of this time, just the intensity of it, then, looking at what you bring to a relationship too, as far as what it is that you value within yourself and are able to, to put out there, to talk about, to communicate to others, so that you can increase the chances of finding a relationship that works for you, that's more ideal. No relationship is perfect, except for my wife. Sorry, dear. Don't beat me. No.
No, she is quite perfect. She is.
But there are ones that are more ideal than others, for sure, and partly because people are communicating.
Yeah.
And it sounds like from this letter here that there was a breakdown of communication. There was like a place of fear that this person went into, and but it's also on the other person to maybe acknowledge that too, and reach out, create a space for someone to express themselves, to say, hey, I got scared there because it looked like I was just going to be another photo, another letter, like I wasn't going to be valued.
Right.
So it is important to acknowledge your partner and their feelings, and if something is, if it's worth fighting for, then take those steps towards it, and and also see your own stuff, see those places that you can adapt as well. It's not about just, diminishing yourself and saying, well, I'm the bad person in it, because that won't work too. But there's always these dynamics at play, and is a relationship worth finding an area of compromise where you take, your letters and photos and then put them in a drawer or in a box or something, so that, the person isn't like feeling like something is just staring at them in the corner saying, it's him, that picture, it's like, relationships are funny that way.
Relationships are funny.
So do you have a question then?
Well, let's see. Well, I was just in general, how people communicate together. So what makes for good communication? Eye contact, non-reactive, movements, not being reactive to each other, just listening. Listening is a good thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, not everybody, it's not all interesting every minute. That's the thing.
I mean, that's the day-to-day of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, some of it's very mundane. It's like, hey, what's for lunch? It's like, I think that, where it can get tricky is where, the deepest relationships, there's a lot of vulnerability. There's a lot of just knowledge of each other. And, if any of that gets weaponized, if any of that knowledge, becomes a source of manipulation, or, where you're going to, push someone's button because that you can, that's where it can get tricky in times of stress and all. So, but you're right. Communication is all about, good eye contact, being present, not fiddling on your phone, while someone's, saying something important to you.
Or even, yeah.
It's like, hold on to that thought. I'm still playing Candy Crush here. What were you saying about my inattentiveness to your desires?
Right. Well, I'm taking the person seriously. And you always know when somebody's serious or when they're not. This is cut over and over. People being afraid, it's weird. It's just weird.
Right.
Yeah. You're either in or you're out. And, you either make a friendship or you don't make a friendship. Yeah. You can have plenty of friends. Whole world full of people. Whole world.
Yeah. It's friendships are, where you can just be on the same frequency, and I find that, one can do that through like the electronic, the social medias, the Zooms, like, sometimes people will ask, it's like, how am I supposed to meet people, meet friends and all? Right. It's like, join a fan club. If you have a common interest with someone, that can, you can just meet on those terms. If you have favorite TV shows or favorite authors, there's fan clubs that you can join and just join in and just talk, and sometimes, if a certain frequency is there, you can branch off into other areas, but not always. Not always, sometimes, there's just a certain channel that is open, for people. And then that's fine. That's what it is. You just meet on that plane, right? You just like, if you like your golf buddies, right? You just go and you play golf. You don't, try to do other things necessarily. It doesn't mean that it can't. That it can't, branch off, open up to other things. But sometimes it's just in that area, And it is on you, the individual, to recognize when there are kind of those parameters. It can feel like it's just that limited space. But if that's what it is, then that's what it is.
Yeah, because you just never know where it's going to open. I always say that when I wanted girlfriends. I had the marriage, but I didn't have a lot of girlfriends in Malibu. And so I wanted some girlfriends. And, William was in every sport. Soccer, baseball, football, hockey, all of it, social, very social. And I didn't have, none of the moms didn't really click with them. I got invited to a lot of stuff. Now I look back and say, oh, well, that was silly. I didn't join this or join that, and they were such great people that were doing it. But it took Cheyenne's ballet class, little baby ballet class at 3 years old. All the moms, I became best friends with them, and still to this day are best friends with them. So it was just like, you just never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah.
Where it's going to click. And you got to trust that click, because of course the rejection is the protection. Like I say, even in friendships, but the thing is that in love relationships, that's your life. It's your life. So, you have to be responsible to your life. What are you going to bring to the table? And what are they going to bring to the table? And you don't have to go too fast. It's not like a race here either. You don't have to get married. You can just get to know each other. It'd be nice.
Yeah, we need a good phrase for rejection is God's protection. It's like desperation is God's respiration, or it's something where.
Well, start thinking of them, Jace.
Yeah, right.
We're good at it. Yeah.
So desperation, right?
Desperation's not good either.
Is not a good thing. It's like the person who goes to the job interview and it's like, I need the job, I need it. It's like we're thinking of someone else actually for this position. And in relationships, it's like, I need you to love me. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna pass.
Well, you see that all the time. People got together, the relationship, by trying to bring it apart. The children they created, all the rest of it. Oh my gosh, it becomes just this jumbly mess. Yeah. Because they didn't really take time to go into the relationship thoughtfully.
That, but also, there's an acknowledgement, I guess, of time. That time is a thing. It usually takes a little bit of time for people just to kind of circle themselves, in friendships. Like they're just kind of they're checking out the space. It's very, very rare, I think, when two people just come together in a way that it's like they just start downloading, all this feeling and information. But there seems to be just kind of this like just circling pattern before there's a layer of trust that is revealed, and then it's like they can start clicking in and allowing for that, just allowing for an ease in that, and not looking to have to own someone. Like to start to define a relationship, so quickly.
Right.
I've got another question.
Okay.
It's not relationships. Well, everything's a relationship, but it's not like a romantic relationship. And it's serious. as I laugh, but I'm not laughing because of the nature of it. It's more of a nervous laugh. So it's from a person who was saying, I was on Facebook looking at a friend's post, and I saw we had a mutual friend in common. So I went to see how she was doing, and I found out she died about 6 months ago. And I didn't even know. It makes me so sad. I feel awkward saying anything about it since so much time has passed. What can I do to say something that I will? They're afraid of looking like a bad friend. If they say something now about it, it's like, well, where were you 6 months ago?
Yeah.
But they want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to say something.
It's okay to go ahead and acknowledge it now. Those are sort of things. I mean, the families, they haven't, to them, it was yesterday. So they don't mind you acknowledging it again. Yeah.
I'm going to pull a card.
Yeah, let's pull a card for it. Yeah.
Got some very interesting cards in regards to that. What do you have? What is that?
Four of Wands.
What's funny is that because I do so many classes, I was going to, hey, let me highlight that, but it's like I can't because I'm not in control of this Zoom call. But so what was it?
Four of Wands.
The Four of Wands.
Yes.
Four of Wands.
Yeah. So I would say that, it's a celebration of her life. And she would want you to celebrate it for sure. And the people who are around, they're still celebrating her life. So it's okay to go in at any time. It's not about being a bad friend. It's about, just being in connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't babysit everybody on your Facebook page. It's her journey. It wasn't yours.
One of the key words that I get with that card, the Four of Wands, is the word acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
And to time is not a thing, to the ones who have passed, certainly. And it's like you just found out. It's like these are kind of extraordinary times, that we live in. And, it's like you just found out, or this person did. Right. And so it's about, reacting in that moment, being conscious of your feelings and, how it looks is not your reality of it. So sometimes people will just hold themselves back completely because of how it looks. And, it's like you can't please everyone. But if you're honest about it, if you say, I'm so sorry, I just found out, then that's, you're showing up when you need to show up. This is what I pulled was 3 cards. The King of Cups, which is a card of that heart-centered person who wants to connect, who wants to share an experience and to connect with others, and who's doesn't fear it. Also, the Two of Swords is that part of ourself that has to make that choice about, oh God, what do I do? What's going to happen? And then the Queen of Wands, which is you do that which is authentic within yourself. It's like what you're responsible to is being your authentic self, and how that will be seen. Again, that's on someone else, as far as taking that in. But show up in your most sincere way, and I was thinking too. It's like if this person wants to say something, then acknowledge, my God, it's I can't believe it's been 6 months, or since this person has passed, and I'm thinking about them, and you can be sincere about it, and not have to try to explain yourself,
Right.
not to give away. Again, if you didn't know, you didn't know,
Yeah.
and to not have to try to explain it away, like, well, I was in the midst of this and this and this and this and this, and all. It's just like, acknowledge the person, and not make it about this, like, this thing about yourself.
Yeah. It's not about you.
Make it about the person, and what they meant to you, and because that's an ongoing thing. You're exactly right in that. It's like the family, and they're like, that pain is not something that has a time limit to it. It's like, oh, 6 months ago, that's ancient history, right? It's like it's very present for them. So
Yeah. Very. Yeah. Death is an interesting, is a whole different subject that we'll have to explore sometime.
yeah, it's with your book, right? Is that part of the soul path? Like, is that a part of your book? And
Yeah, we'll be talking about it. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a questions answered from the other side, but it's very unique, and I'm good at automatic writing. So
Is that the title of it, or is that the subtitle?
what's that? Soul Path?
Your book, like questions and answers from the other side.
No, it's my theme is always supernatural. I mean, personal problems and supernatural solutions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always my subtitle. But I hope that everybody likes the title. Seems to be the working title is probably going to be the title.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And it will all come to light in a future episode.
I mean, a third of it, or a little over a quarter of it has already gone to the editor agent. So yeah, and she sold a lot of books. So we're working it. We'll see what messages and what she wants rounded out here, but it's coming along. People love it.
Excellent. I mean, tapping into, the creative energy, to focus and put pen to paper, so to speak, put fingers to the keyboard. And I've been writing a book with voice by speaking it, and you get into these, like, command mode, or you have to say, like, period,
Right.
new paragraph. You have to train yourself to do that, and it takes a little bit. I'm surprised at kind of how difficult it can be to just start something new. But it's once you get like a rhythm going, that's the best.
Yeah, sometimes I write articles like that, I'll be writing notes to myself or different things, and I had that really fun experience about a year ago, maybe, about somebody coming through and talking in the middle of my paragraph. It was like, my gosh, where did this come from? But the whole paragraph was all about them and their life, and they wanted me to check on their daughter. So it was pretty interesting.
So it was like this program is being preempted by another entity who's like who wants to be heard right now.
Right. It was very interesting. Totally did the work on it. It was fun. It was, what was so interesting about it is that my street name is the same cemetery name that this person is buried in. So yeah, it was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Daughter.
Yeah. So any other questions or there was one other question that someone, they asked me rather than it being like a personal question.
Yeah. What was that?
About themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They asked,
is it a love question? Yeah, because we could always just pick a love card too. Like, where do you start? Where do you start to gain more courage or more encouragement?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pick a card.
All right, I'm going to pick a card for courage and encouragement. I got the 2 of Wands.
What do you see in that?
Well, it's attainment of goals and needs. So it's about not to be too sad or not to be. It's like the 2 faces, the actors. The sad face, happy face.
Tragicomique.
Yeah.
Mask.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to hide behind a mask. You don't have to hide. Again, it's about being authentic. And it's about creating. I always think that wands and wood creates sentimentality. So it's 2 people who want to create sentimentality. And it's not about being chained together. It's about creating passion for life and passion for each other. And it's not about stepping on each other or lording over anybody. It's about coming together kind of on the same footing, on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So enjoying each other.
I pulled 1 card.
Yes. What did you get?
I pulled the Sun.
Wow. Beautiful.
And that card is one of joy, and it's interesting because of what you're saying about the face. The Hebrew on the Sun card is resh, which is the face. Mm-hmm. On the moon, it's quaf, which is the back of the head. So there's on the moon, it's the hidden. What's on the Sun is that which is in front of you, that which you can see. And so it becomes a card of truth as well, that all of that daylight streams in, and one is able to see what is in front of them, and to be in the truth of that, right? In relationships, to see all that one can be a part of, with the 2 people coming together, and to choose joy in that, to be in a place of truth, and where you give yourself permission to be happy in that. And you're way ahead of the game, if these 2 factors are part of being in that truthful place. Because the other part of that is like in the moon card, that fantasy, right, where one is just like coming up with stuff, and they can be coming up with like just dramas and stuff too. They can like in that one person that we're reading earlier, where it's like the guy could be like having all of these images of where this person is not faithful, or they're still contacting their old boyfriends and stuff like that, but it's when it's out there, when you can talk about it, and it's the honest truth of things, then one can relax into it, and be in that honest place, and enjoy themselves in it, and sometimes joy is a choice,
yes, very much so. It's a viewpoint.
I feel blessed in that I seem to be, naturally wired towards accepting joy. I laugh pretty easily at things. Yeah, it's like we're probably cut from the same cloth in that regard. But with everything, because life is a full spectrum of experiences, it's like being able to allow for joy to be the predominant, expression. That's an accomplishment that should be carved on my headstone.
what, joy as a predominant factor? Yeah.
He liked to laugh, I mean,
Yeah.
something, he chose joy over sorrow. That's something that is, where we can, let go of a lot of, just those things that aren't always in our favor, but it's like in the big picture, maybe they are, because they give us opportunities to rise up to the next level, and again, like, choose to be in a joyful place.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, it's all about you. It's not about someone else. I wrote about that yesterday. Letting it be. Not even letting it go. It's letting it be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When can you not over-process or overreact or even react at all?
Yeah. So where? What's that?
Let things become.
Yeah, it's when I was doing this love and romance class too. It's like in the Rider Waite version of the Lover's card.
Yeah.
It's like the same framework there for the Devil card, and it's like the lovers there in the Devil card are chained. It's like they're having to be in a space of
yeah.
What's that?
Experiencing weird things.
That, but also, there's aspects of control, right? And one can choose, that area of freedom or that area of control in relationships. And if, one gets too heavy handed there, it starts to diminish the love in it. And it does become weird. It does become dark. It becomes, too limiting.
Well, I want to say too, I want everybody to be able to find you, Jason, at jasondmckean.com.
Yeah.
Right.
And on Facebook,
yeah.
Jason D. McKean. And, I do a daily tarot poll, just that's a nice general talk, but there's like a whole community that will come in and we'll talk about like things like tacos and just like food and just a bunch of stuff. So it's kind of fun, like 20 minutes a day.
Well, that's where people can meet each other. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And, they say hi to each other, and they're from all over the world. Mm-hmm. South Africa, Europe, Asia. It's and here too in the U.S.
Nice. Very nice.
Where are you at, Tara?
Yeah, tarainsight.com, TARAINSIGHT.com. So I just happened to pull 4 cards. How to go forward in your love life is fill the vessel. You need to fill the vessel. You are a vessel. Fill it with goodwill and beauty and harmony and love. And, it's the fruits and the labors of our life, just to create this beautiful fountain of our youth and our essence and our being, why we're here on the earth. And here's the Lover's card, because love makes the world go round, and it's better to be reaching instead of running away. So, hold that sacred space. We want to hold sacred space. All problems have solutions. We can overcome anything. Overcoming.
What card is that?
The Chariot. Overcoming our obstacles. Jump over them, jump through the hoop of fire, but there's a solution to every problem. And there is balance. This is justice. There is balance. So just be balanced and go to your next phase. This is, I always think of the golden doorways. You're walking through a new phase. Just remember That life is good if you allow it to be. You know, we have to always look toward the good side, not the bad side. You know, life is going to hand us a few lemons, but again, you know, make lemonade.
Agreed.
It's worth it.
Agreed. Thank you, Tara, so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely.
Love everybody. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for listening to Transformations with Tara. Tara hopes this program brings guidance and insight towards a better tomorrow. If you have any questions or inquiries, or would just like to know more about Tara Sutphen's workshops and seminars or private sessions, please visit her website now at tarainsight.com. Until next time, many blessings.